Because one thing is for sure, at the end, wars end, pandemics, they end, and then everyone wants to travel again, and it will be raining here again.
Right.
I just need to prepare as best as I can for the day after. These are interesting times, you know. It's one thing I'm an expert with the past. I'm an archaeologist by education. But dealing with the future, I'm not that good. I'm just, following the events and making my assessments to the best of my knowledge.
No, and that's great, because you have great insight, because what we notice is when you're on the ground in Israel, you can see what's really happening, but our media, a lot of times in America, covers a lot of things up or doesn't say anything, and we don't get that information. So you being an Israeli citizen on the ground, you give us the best insight. That's where we really appreciate that kind of understanding, because we don't get that. So thanks for that opinion, and appreciate it. And I understand, you're an archaeologist, and you focusing on the past, but you have, just being with you've had tremendous insight. So let me ask you this, then on a more personal level for you personally, because I want people to understand how this is affecting your economy. Because you lead tours, and that's part of your income. But when we were over there, Danny, there was no tours going on that I saw. The last 3 times, it was dead on the doornail. I've never seen it so dead. Speak to the economics of what this has done to Israel and you personally.
Yeah, we should separate the national economy in my own pocket. Yeah. Although they're kind of related, but sadly, my passion and my livelihood is in tourism. Yeah, which is really good when things are good. When it rains, it pours. Thanks to all my appearance on media, like here, my name is known, and on regular days I actually have a team. I have a team of tour guides working for me, and things were doing really well till October 7th, 2023. We had COVID, but we recovered very well. Once the war started, instead of dealing with tours and accommodation and setting restaurants, I was desperately trying to find flights for my clients. Mm-hmm. And it took us about 5 days till we finally managed to find available seats and fly everyone safely out of here. Yeah. Once things went on a lower volume, I discovered that people like you and others are interested in the Gaza envelope, and to bear witness and to see the area that has sadly become famous for the massacre, like Be'eri, Nova, the burned cars and all of that. Now, it's not exactly archaeology, but I realized, and I felt that also that's the best I can do for the war, is be again an ambassador and present information. So I did thorough research, and you saw in the tour, I know every monument. Yes. I know hundreds of personal stories of people and where and sometimes how they were murdered. And it's important to bear those facts, because there are enough deniers that try to claim it didn't happen, or they were shot dead by Israel's airplanes, and a lot of nonsense like that. So the only way to confront it is with facts, just showing the facts again and again. Yeah. And actually, there was a certain rise of tours towards the summer. Okay. You came in July, right?
June. We were in there
in June. So also July was not too bad. Okay. But then in August, when the Hezbollah threatened to attack us after we hit Shukur, we shut down the airport for about 2 to 3 hours. Okay. I was sure that's it. That's the big war. But it ended up being something quite minor. But the psychological impact that the airport had to be closed was huge. And many people canceled tours, canceled flights, and also many aviation companies canceled their flights. So now there's only a few companies operating. It's not only the Israeli ones, not only Al Israel and Arkia, but Delta isn't flying yet. Yeah. United Airlines hasn't even announced when it's going to renew flights to Israel. Wow. And that means that the people that still want to come have to pay a lot more, because El Al has only so many flights and so many seats. Right. So all of a sudden, to come to Israel, not only does it feel kind of risky, but it's much more expensive than you may have planned. On the other hand, as you saw, if you make it here, the sites don't have any lines. You want to go to the tomb of Jesus and the Holy Sepulchre? Go ahead.
Right.
The monks don't even mind if you take photos, which never happened before, because there's just no one there.
Yeah.
So if you make it, you find the sites very accessible, available. We're all available and more than happy to guide people. But it's not been easy. And unlike COVID, there's no governmental support this time.
Oh, okay.
They're only supporting the ones that are next to the border.
Yeah.
And they just ignore the whole tourism industry, especially tour guides that were left home without any income. Now, the younger ones, I'm simply too old. I offered my services, and I was in the paratroopers, but I'm in my 50s. They said, no, we don't need you, not even on a voluntary basis. Some of my younger team members are actually in duty because the Army is also a provider of work, of an income. So some of the younger people in the tourism industry found that to be a solution. But
yeah, boy,
I'm kind of struggling. It's not nice to admit, but these are not easy times financially for me. I will say this. I am going to start vlogging about King David. During COVID, I did a successful vlog about Jesus, following Jesus. Now it's going to be following David.
Great.
And history has taught me that these vlogs turn to be quite beneficial. I get money from views, and people also support me, so that will keep me occupied until things get better.
Yeah. Well, we want to support you. So if someone wants to do a tour, if there are pastors out there or a leader, you're doing tours right now, aren't you?
I'll be more than happy to lead tours, but there's just not a lot of people that are asking for it. On Friday, I actually guided a couple. Okay. But more important, in November, I'm going to the U.S., both to visit my son, but I'm also using the opportunity to do networking. And I'm going to appear on TBN, and I'm going to meet at least 2 pastors, and maybe I'm going to appear on Daystar. Great. Both telling the updates, but also telling of the latest news in biblical archaeology, and there's a lot of news. Yeah, and, man. And prepare for the day after, because one thing is for sure: the end wars end, like pandemics. They end, and then everyone wants to travel again, and it will be raining here again. Right. I just need to prepare as best as I can for the day after. Yeah.